Lily Nussbaum-Yesevich, tell me about this group.
This group started a little over a year ago. We're all daughters of Holocaust survivors. How it started was we met at someone's house in Côte St. Luc. We were 17 women. This is a very funny story because we started at one end of the room. I was the last one to speak, and everyone talked about why they had come. And everyone was really, frankly, was a lot of bullshit. Everybody was talking very politely about their mothers and their fathers and growing up and everything. And they got to me and they said, "Why are you here?" And I said, "I'm really here because I want to see if everyone has the same crazy as me."
The same crazy.
Crazy.
Meaning what?
Meaning the same PTSD, the same effect of growing up with completely insane parents. Fabulous parents. I always felt incredibly loved and well taken care of and adored and worshipped as a child. But my parents were nuts. My father lost a child and a wife. My mother lost everybody. So everybody was crazy in our house. Well,
that's a common story. I mean,
absolutely.
Daughters of mothers who are Holocaust, you are second generation.
Absolutely. Oh, I'm first generation. My mother was a survivor. So the funny thing was, after I spoke, all 16 of the other women wanted to speak again because they all wanted to talk their truth. And they all spoke their truth. It was a very different room.
Well, you broke the ice. It's a very difficult thing to talk about.
And women talked about how they were abused because their parents didn't know how to parent. I mean, my mother was 11 or 12 when the war started. And my mother said my mother got married in DP camp when she was 20 years old. And like she used to say to me, I was a real virgin. You know, and this was how I grew up. And other people, I mean, thank God I had really wonderful parents who treated me like I was a goddess. But other people had parents who beat them, who locked them in rooms. People didn't know how to parent. And this is what brought us all together. Now we're having a lot more fun, as you could tell from this meeting today. We're relating to each other, and we're not going to talk anymore about our trauma because it's done. I mean, there's nothing to do, and obviously we're all doing okay. We all have very successful children. I should say my daughters. I have one daughter a doctor, one a psychologist. I have to say that because I'm a Jewish mother. But you know, we tried to bring up our children differently. And that's what we did. And but our children are also traumatized. Our children they should have a group, second generation, because my daughters were brought up very different than their friends. Because most of their friends are not children of Holocaust survivors.
So, but would you say in that regard that you carry guilt from two different directions? Or trauma, rather.
I carry a lot of trauma, but I've gotten way past that as I've gotten older. When I turned 65, I forgave myself for everything. And it's a shame it took till 65 to do it. But at some point, we have to do that. We have to take responsibility, and we have to live our lives. We have to appreciate how fortunate we are with what we have here, even now.
Today's event couldn't be more Jewish if you tried. A room full of daughters of mothers who are Holocaust survivors talking about maybe the most Jewish thing ever, chicken soup.
Yeah.
How did this start?
One of the girls, we had a meeting in a cafe, 5 of us, and one of the girls said, "Why don't we talk about chicken soup?" We were trying to figure out what to talk about that wouldn't be sad. I said, "What a great idea, chicken soup." And we put it out there. It was a huge, huge hit. We've never had this many people together at once. This is the biggest event we've ever had.
There are 19 or 20 women here. Yeah. All have very similar but very different stories about chicken soup.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about your soup?
My soup is, my mother never owned a measuring cup or anything like that, and she was a terrible cook, but her soup was unbelievable. And I just played it by ear. And now...
So your soup is her soup?
Pretty much. And what my mother used to always say is you have to kill a lot of chickens to have a good soup. And that's the thing with my soup. I don't put any powder in my soup. There's none of this powder that all the people use in their soup. I don't use any of that. I use a lot of chickens. Yeah. A lot of chickens. We have a very fancy chicken soup. I'm tearing up. Just from the heat. Anyway, so this is our group, and I think we're going to grow. And we just have to figure out our next event. Yeah, but it's very cool, and I'm very excited that you related to it too,
Of course, of course.
because you're much younger than we are.
Yeah.
But it's all good. Thank
So,
you, Dad.
chicken soup for the neshama.
For the neshama. That's what the book says. It says chicken soup for the soul.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
We share one neshama, all of us.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dad.